So in this gospel passage from Luke chapter 17, Jesus is healing 10 lepers by sending them to the priest, the Jewish priest, a Levite. And along the way, they're healed, seemingly through the power of God. And one of those healed lepers recognizes his own transformation and comes back to Jesus. And that's where we have that great phrase. Jesus says, weren't there 10 of you? And is it only a foreigner, a Samaritan, considered a heretic at the time, who comes back and thanks me? So in Jesus's day, Samaritans lived in the upper part of what we know as the West Bank of Palestine. And Samaritans were akin to Jews, but not quite the same. Samaritans follow only the first 5 books of what we call the Old Testament, so the law, without the prophets and the writings. And this approach to God was rejected by Judaism of its day. And that rejection was not just a theological one, but a social one, a political one, an economic one as well, and great tension between the communities. This is why Jesus is always often walking on the east side of the Jordan River from the Galilee, because he wants to avoid walking through Samaria. It's hostile territory. Hence his surprise at the Samaritan returning. Of all the people in that group to return, the Samaritan is the least likely. We can hear in this gospel passage that Jesus is a way to healing, and that Jesus himself extends that way, opens that way for people regardless. And I see in that, I hear in that a word for all of us, a word about our own ministries on a communal and personal level. On the personal level, we are absolutely called to open that way of healing to whomever seeks it. And of course, this is exactly what the Anglican, the Episcopal Church in the Diocese of Jerusalem is doing with its ministries every day. Ministering in the Holy Lands that, as we all know, is famously divided, opening wide the door of education, the door of health care, the door of job training, the door of rehabilitation to whomever will enter, be they Muslims, Christians, Jews, people in Israel, people in Palestine. It's hard, I think, for us in the United States to appreciate what an enormous crossing over that work is at Princess Basma or the Holy Land Institute for the Deaf or St. Luke's. To be able to bring those young people to a place where they're loved and their dignity is restored and they learn how to read and therefore have a shot at a satisfying life where they can love and be loved. This is why the church does it. It's done today because Jesus did it then and asked his disciples to do exactly the same.